Good morning, my friends. Welcome to Explaining Hemp. My name is Sarah Williams, and I'm the CEO and founder of Hemp for Healthcare in Alaska. Welcome today. Today, I am joined by, over here, pioneer, hemp-tastic pioneer for the Alaska industry, Shawn McDonough with Frontier CBDs. I'm super excited to talk with him about his grow and his experience in hemp in Alaska and hemp in general. And so welcome to the broadcast today. Please go ahead and put where you're from in the comments so we know that you're watching today. And let's go ahead and get started. So with every episode of Explaining Hemp, we go ahead and pray this thing in. So if you'll bow your heads with me and let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for today. We thank you for the people that you're bringing to this broadcast. We thank you for Shawn, and we ask that you lift him up, that you anoint his lips, that you anoint both of our lips, that you give us the words we need to speak out the power of the plant you created, and give us the wisdom we need to share that with the people so we can guide them in this mission to revolutionize our economy and our planet with the hemp plant. So Father God, we ask that you bless this broadcast, bless those who are watching even now and into the future. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. All right. Amen. So we start, okay, so real quick, I am looking for a sponsor. I'm looking for a $50 StreamYard sponsor for the month of, where are we at? June. So for the month of June, I'll be looking for a sponsor. This month's sponsor is Relief Alaska. So I've got to put that in the banner. I apologize for that one. So hello, Emmanuel. It's good to see you from Papua New Guinea. Yay. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. I'm also looking for a Wi-Fi sponsor. That's $150 sponsorship. And that includes just a sponsor spotlight videos. We spend an hour together just interviewing, and that'll go out to the audience as well. So just to let you know, we need your sponsorship. All right, so moving on. We start every episode with hemp news. What's going on in the world of hemp news? So let's go ahead and look into some of the spaces that I like to look into, which is Hemp Industry Daily. Honestly, the headlines are not all that exciting right now. I'm going to be honest. Like, they're not all that exciting. But let's look into what we've got over here at Hemp Industry Daily. Can y'all see that? Oh, there we go. Okay. So one of the things that we're seeing at the moment is that CBD beverages are not selling. They're not selling. People are not drinking CBD. Why? Why do you think that is? Shawn, do you have any insight as to why that might be? CBD beverages?
I think it's one of those products that's kind of expensive on the marketplace. It's one of the more expensive products, and I think a lot of it has to do with maybe nanotechnology. A lot of the beverages on the market are under water-soluble nanotechnology, and some people just struggle with understanding that. And I think it's just something that hasn't been spoken about enough, and it's one of those things that we can explain, and it's a lot better way of ingesting CBDs, but some people think it's a little more expensive than it should be, and I think that's one of the struggles with it is just the retail can't sell a drink for $7-8, you know, is what it usually ends up being. So I think that's why it's true.
If you really understand that, I mean, the benefit to why you would want to spend a little bit more, that would make sense. But in the beginning, it's just a drink. So if you can't compete,
I mean, 20 milligrams for $8 is just seems like a lot to the public, I think, and a lot of folks don't understand nano CBD, which is, you know, usually it's a 5 times factor. So if it's 5 milligrams, it's really 25 milligrams of CBD at the end of the day with nanotechnology, and I think that's where people fall behind.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, cool. So looks like our first over here, we see Colorado bans Delta 8. Now, haven't we learned our lesson as a human species that when you ban something, it only creates a black market for it? Okay. We need to awaken to that. Like, America's super far behind in that. We've seen other civilized countries that have realized, okay, well, when we decriminalize things, We see an increase in human enlightenment, okay, less criminals behind bars. I don't agree with banning Delta 8. I agree with controlling it because it is a psychoactive substance. I agree with making sure that it's listed on the label so that I'm not giving my child or even myself that substance if I don't want that effect, right? But I don't believe with banning it. And that seems like Colorado went so far backwards, being the first state to legalize cannabis recreationally, being just the forefront of this industry, and then they go backwards to ban a substance in the same plant. Come on, doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, when you're looking at Delta 8, you know, it's not a natural occurring substance that comes out of the hemp plant. It's actually forced. And I mean, that's where I'm on the fence about it.
Yeah.
It's manipulated into being Delta 8. So it's a substance that's not naturally occurring in the hemp plant at a large volume. It's manipulated into being Delta 8 from taking usually either CBD or CBG, and you take heat and pressure, and it creates Delta 8 and Delta 9. Or I'm sorry, Delta 10. That's a new substance that they're talking about. And I think up here in Alaska, you know, with the ability to look at the spice market. Okay.
Ooh,
so
yeah.
when they took and banned like spice from the marketplace, they said, if you mimic a drug to look like another drug, it should be outlawed and banned. And that's, I believe there's 16 or 17 states that have taken that approach with the Delta 8. And that's because it mimics another substance, which is Delta 9.
Right.
And
that
I'm kind of on the fence about it. I've experienced it. I think it gives you a great body high.
Sure.
And there's a lot to learn from it. But I think at this time, I'm not open to selling it. I think the public is misled with the fact that they can pass a drug test sometimes. You know, you got a lot of people passing wrong information out there. You're not going to pass a drug test.
You just blew my mind. Because I didn't know. I mean, I haven't looked in detail into it, but I didn't know that it was something that was not naturally occurring in the plant. And God knows I'm a big fan of natural occurrences being, okay, plant-based medicine. But when man starts putting their own little spin on things, that's where things turn evil. That's where things turn wrong. And so I didn't know that it wasn't naturally occurring. And now that makes a ton of sense to say, hey, for the safety of the you know, human species, for the safety of the people, we need to keep that in mind. One of the things we were seeing here in Wasilla specifically, and I won't name names because I don't want to be a gossiper, but we were seeing one company that was putting Delta 8 within their CBD, and they were selling it out to the people. And so the people would experience this great high, and then they would go to another company and they would purchase CBD and they wouldn't get that same high, and they would complain. And so the other company would say, well, it's because we don't have Delta 8, we have pure CBD in our product. And there was, and that concerns me because I don't want to give my child a CBD product believing that it's non-psychoactive, and then there's something hidden inside of it that will cause psychoactive effects, right? So yeah, that's super, super interesting. Great debate there. What are we looking at? Cannabinoid firms ready FDA ingredient notifications with eye on legalization, more CBD discussions. I haven't really looked at that article. How to ensure an adequate water supply for outdoor cannabis production. I think this is a great topic. Now, here in Alaska, it's raining today here in Wasilla, so we're not so worried about water supply. And I don't know when the last time Alaska really had a drought that was worrisome. Shawn, are you down there in Homer?
I am down here in Homer.
Okay, so you guys probably don't have much of a concern for water supply either, but you know, it's important to have good water.
It's one of those things that's a concern of mine out at the farm. You know, we took and purchased a pretty big farm out here with 36 high tunnels, and actually have, I believe it's 9 wells on the property.
Okay.
So it's we got drilled wells and culvert wells.
Wow.
And we have huge tanks that we want to fill this time of year, because yes, we have a lot of runoff, and we need to capture that water, because come midsummer, from what I heard, the farm does struggle with capturing water later on in the year. So we have about 12,000 gallon water capacity holding tanks, and we plan on filling them next week, and we're off and running out there on the farm. It's amazing. We had 3-4 feet of snow, like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and it happened quick,
and it just flopped, right?
It's here.
It's exactly. Welcome to spring. And one last article here. We've got New Horticulture Alliance aims to build stable supply chain for CPG manufacturers. What's really amazing to me with the hemp plant is the 100 of different cannabinoids that are within it, and how we're just still even now discovering. I think we've discovered like 13 different cannabinoids, and we're trying now just discovering what they do and how this all comes together. And I think that it's so much more than CBD. That really is what I'd like to just like push today, is that it's not just about one cannabinoid. It's not just about THC. It's not just about CBD. Now, naturally, the psychology of what we've seen in the human species with the release of the cannabis industry has been, okay, we're going to focus on this ingredient, and we're going to focus on this cannabinoid. We're going to focus on these things, but there's a bigger picture, a full spectrum picture that we really need to pay attention to. So, okay, so let's look into that. And then I want to really quick touch on one more page here, which is this one, because this is a little bit more global news in the hemp world. And Hemp Today talks about this headline just blows me away, because it shows now Shawn and I have been a part of the Alaskan, kind of legalization and cannabis industry, and the walking that out and witnessing having to teach our legislatures and teach people about these things and seeing that. But now we're looking at this top headline right here where it says lifting of ban on medical cannabis in Japan sparks fears about CBD. So it goes to show that different countries and different groups of people, as they begin to awaken to the power of medical cannabis, that they go, oh, well, we're still fearful about this thing or that thing. And it still requires a ton of education. And it's probably never going to stop. Like, we could be 100 years into this industry and still be learning new things about this plant and what it can do. So that's pretty amazing. We've got Italian extracts maker, stock swap. That's exciting. Check Hemp. I know this beautiful lady. She's a LinkedIn contact of mine. Still fighting stigmas, and rule change in Minnesota cuts farmers slack on THC. Look at that. They did some. So this is one of those rules about the 0.3% THC, right? That's what makes industrial hemp. There's that fear that if a farmer can't control Mother Nature, God, in how that plant is perfectly below 0.3%, then he's got to destroy his entire crop. And that's ridiculous. So having some remediation rules, or even saying, look, if it's over 0.3%, you can't use it in consumable products. You can only use it in biofuel, or you could use it in plastics, or you could use it in something else that is non-consumable, because I don't care how much THC is in my house. You know what I mean? My building materials or my clothing. I don't care. What I do care is how much THC is in the foods that I eat, the oils that are in the things that I put in my body. That's what I care about. And I think most people can agree. So awesome. Okay, well, that's exciting. So those are some of the things in hemp news going on. Let's get right to our guest, because I want to hear all about what's going on in the world of Shawn McDonough. So let's talk about, Shawn, please introduce yourself. Tell my people about who you are, how you got into Alaskan hemp, and kind of what you're working on right now.
Well, I think I got into Alaskan hemp with you. I met you early on in the stages of my hemp career, and you invited me out to a project out there in the valley, and I, got to meet Rob Carter and all the powers to be, and it really enlightened me to want to pursue this industry. And I own a couple of different businesses, Frontier CBDs being one. I have Frontier Hemp Farmers, which is our farm out in Anchor Point area that we're going to be planting about 32,000 hemp plants at. And it's very exciting stuff. And then we also, what other companies do we have? We got Island Choice CBD, which is coming out, which is our other CBD manufacturing company that is full spectrum. So Frontier CBDs is just isolate-based CBD products with 0 THC in them. And Island Choice is going to be your full spectrum product line. And what other company do I have here? Oh, Alaska Off-Grid Cannabis Company is our other company, which we do through AMCO, which is the recreational marijuana side of the fence. And we'll have a grow out there for that. And, I got a couple other little ventures in Anchorage with King Street Cannabis and the grow that we have back there. We got a 40 light indoor grow for the recreational side up there in Anchorage. And so we got a lot going on here, and we're really excited to just be part of this industry. I mean, we love doing it, and I've been doing radio about it for a little over almost 2 years now, and it's just spread the love of the hemp plant. It's an amazing plant. People don't always understand it, but I think I do a pretty good job at explaining the hemp plant and how it can benefit you, and how it's not going to just make you high and psychoactive. That's the biggest, thing on the fence where people, it's still the devil lettuce to some people.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I love doing, is talking them off the fence and explaining to them that it's not going to get you high, and it's not going to, warp your mind. And I think that's the best benefit of trying to help people and explain it. And, a lot of people like using topicals for the first time if they are on the fence. I see topicals as being a big avenue. So if you're out there and, your grandparents or your parents are on the fence about trying the hemp plant, introduce them to a topical. I feel like that's a great lead into the hemp world, and a better way to understand it, where, obviously a topical, I've never seen any topical able to get you high. So
the only way I think could even get you high is like if you put it, and I've done this once because it was like, it was infused coconut oil. Okay. It was literally, I put it from the tip of my head to the bottom of my feet. Like I was in so much pain that day, like the whole body. I put like whole body slathering. Okay. Like, so that's about the only way it could happen. But other than
back in the day.
Right, exactly. But I mean, I made my own topical at that point. So yeah, your topical is a great idea for that. And that's what I think.
Bombs, all those things are wonderful.
There's so many amazing things, and there's so many ways to experience hemp. Like one of the things that I love to do is hemp seed energy balls. It's the only way that I can get like solid, good nutrition inside my kid, is I will feed him like hemp seed and I'll feed him like flaxseed and coconut, just make these great hemp energy balls, peanut butter and honey. And we lost your screen there, Shawn. Maybe we'll come back. Okay.
Yeah, so, I don't know what happened to my screen here.
I don't know. I have your I have your audio, but I don't know what happened. And so I like to cook with it. I like to cook with hemp and hemp seed, and I buy, by the pound and just do different things with it. So there's many, many ways that you can consume hemp, but then of course, you can wear hemp, and you can, build with hemp, and you can put shampoo, hemp shampoo. Like there's just so many different ways. So it's definitely a new thing, but you've got to, you as an enlightened human being that's coming to watch my broadcast, you have to be part of the solution to helping people understand that the leaf may look the same, but one leaf can be attached to a plant that, yes, and does create a psychoactive chemical that is, could get you high. And then one leaf can be connected to a plant that doesn't get you high, but it can build you a house, or it can make you clothing, or it can provide food for your family. So really getting to know that. So it looks like Shawn, if you want to like log out completely and come back in, like following the link and come back in, we can do that. And I can fill for time and see if that works. So, so that's really what's important, is understanding that hemp is plastic, right? Hemp is biofuel. There's all, with the gas pipeline shutting down and with all of these things that everybody's fearful over. Well, guess what? There's a solution in hemp, and we really don't need to be fearful about it. We don't need to say, oh my God, the sky is falling down. Well, no, it's not. We have a solution. We have something that is hope, that is a food source and a fuel source. And you can make the car, make the thing inside the car. You can run the car, all of it out of one plant. So the potential here is huge. And that's why I do what I do, is recognizing, because that potential, there we are.
There I am.
Because that potential is so huge, with being able to make the car, run the car, all on hemp. I want to see like Tesla come to Alaska and put a car manufacturing out of hemp right here. And so so hemp is more than just that plant that gets you high, and it's up to you to be the educator on that, because you're my pioneers. You're the ones watching this broadcast, and you're the ones, that are here going, okay, let's do something about this. No matter where you live, if you live in Papua New Guinea, like Emmanuel, if you live in Alaska, if you live in California, whatever, it's about educating on the difference. So, Shawn, the first company that I knew you as was Frontier CBDs. And I think back then you were just kind of just beginning, and you were a bulldog for getting the sales out there and getting it going. And so what are some of the things that you've learned from running Frontier CBDs and from beginning that can help those who are just starting hemp businesses where they're at?
I mean, it's just I don't know how to explain it. It's like sky's the limit if you have a I don't know. I love inventing and creating things. That's my passion. So I mean, over the couple of years here, we have 148 products that we have in the Frontier CBD line. And then we also have our national brand, which is the Hemp-Ep brand, which is we distribute here in the state of Alaska still. And that's a broad spectrum product. And it's just I don't know how to explain it. It's if you have a passion for something, like I found with the hemp plant, I used to be a big fan of the marijuana plant, and I still am, but the hemp plant kind of swept me off my feet, and it changed my life. I don't do any opiates. I haven't, taken an opiate in I don't know how long. I had 3 knee surgeries out taking a pain pill. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm a tough dude or I just got the right product, which is the hemp plant, CBD.
Yeah,
CBD,
I had a hysterectomy. Can we give a testimony? I had a hysterectomy, like took out my entire uterus, both my ovaries, and took not a single pain pill, not a single opiate. It was all hemp oil, all hemp all the time. So yeah.
You're kind of breaking up there, but yeah, it's just amazing. So I mean, if you're on the fence about wanting to get in the industry, it's a growing industry. I can tell you that it's just absolutely booming. You just have to have your ducks in a row and really know what you're searching for and what you're trying to accomplish. I think that's the biggest problem with starting a company in this industry is you have to really be directed in one direction and know which direction you're going and stick to your path. I think that's the biggest thing is just sticking to it and really driving through all the complications that do pop up, because it's not all clean sailing. It's definitely a bumpy road sometimes, and there's a lot of things that make it a bumpy road. I guess banking, we could talk about, is just still on the fence. It's a pain in all of our butts.
It's a pain. It is. Like, I found out. Okay.
You think you got something under control with bank account or credit card processing, and the next thing you know, they're cutting you off and sending you a cease and desist letter, and you can't really explain it, and they can't explain it to you why they chose not to participate in a totally legal industry in the United States. And it's mind-boggling that they don't want the $5 billion that we're creating right now.
Yeah.
I don't understand the banking programs, but I'm sure at some point in time we're going to get there. We're getting closer and closer to being a little bit more open for banking.
Yeah, so let me address that real quick. So I went to a website called Veraleaf. You got feedback over there. Okay, Veraleaf.io, VERILEAF.io. And I'm gonna mute you. Here,
I don't know what happened to your mic, but it's all cracky.
Well, you're all cracky, so I don't know what's going on there.
I'm gonna mute you for a second.
Okay, I'm muting you for a second because your mic is doing something weird. So,
is it better?
I think so. We'll see. So anyway, so Veraleaf.io, I went there and you can search if you need a cannabis hemp banking solution, right? So they gave me a solution, but they the company came back and they said, yes, we'll take your bank account. You have to do a $500 opening deposit, and the bank fee is $150 a month. Okay, so the fee is $150 just to have a hemp bank account. It's a legal industry. What is going on here? So it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, very frustrating. Guys, we got cracky going on over there. Okay. So I'm going to ask you this question, and then can you hear me though, Shawn? Can you hear me? I got you muted at the moment. Can you hear me? Okay, cool. All right. So next question. So let's talk about your growth. What caused you to grow hemp, and how big is your grow? You said 36 something thousand
really plants. I can barely hear you now.
I know you got this crack going on in your microphone. It's very strange. But I'll quit talking. So tell me about your growth.
Come back.
Okay, try that.
I can't
try that. Praise God. We're having some technical difficulties this morning. So today I wanted to talk about the specifics of the grow, right? Today's episode is all about a grower spotlight. And so spotlighting somebody who is choosing to grow hemp, choosing to be a pioneer in that industry and in that segment of the industry. And so I'm very excited. Shawn's going to come right back in, and he's coming in, and we're going to get this all set up, and it's good. Okay, so we're going to add him. There we go. He's coming in. Okay.
I think it's on your end.
I don't know. I'll go ahead. I got you.
Yeah, it's cracking on you.
I don't know.
But I think your question was about wanting to grow hemp, and the idea of doing it.
Yeah, and what do you want to use? Was that your question? Yeah, what do you want to use it for?
So, I mean, we're growing hemp for obviously the CBD, and the cannabinoids in general that come out of the hemp plant. That's what we're striding for. I have a few people that obviously want the hemp herd for making hempcrete. and we plan on spreading that out to a couple different folks that are really into doing that. And I mean, the idea of growing hemp here in the state, it's going to be an interesting summer, put it that way. I really hope we have a beautiful semi-warm summer, not extremely hot, but something that will give us, the temperatures that we need. We're still in the low 30s up here in the Anchor Point area, so we're having to really put a hold on getting too excited and popping seeds at this time. So we were hoping for the 15th, 16th was going to be our date, but it looks like it's going to be pushed towards the end of the month. I guess up here, typically, usually the last week of May is the planting season in general for whether it's vegetables or, any of the above. And I think that's the kind of approach we're going to go unless it really warms up here in the next week or two. I don't see it. We're about to hit 40. That was my goal, is 40 degrees at night as a low. So we're about to do that at the end of this next week. So hopefully we can hold that temperature, and then we will definitely march forward with planting seeds. And I think it's about 300 to 400 plants. I haven't actually put plants in the greenhouses. So at that time, we'll figure out what space we really have and the ability to grow in each greenhouse and build them out as we go. It's going to be a week in, week out process with planting and then harvesting. So we want to space some of the plants out so we don't have just a huge harvest all at once. And we plan on doing it over about a 6-week period, and that's our goal. And hopefully our dreams can come true.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to mute you so that we don't have any of that feedback situation while I ask my question. So thank you for sharing that. I think that's great to understand. And what is wonderful is that you are a pioneer in this industry. So you are really, you're taking those risks, you're taking those chances, and you're believing and walking by faith that it's going to work. And so when the Lord gave me the hemp for healthcare idea, I was like, okay, sure, let's do this. But then the constant question from everyone is, will hemp grow in Alaska? Well, I hope so. I think so. Maybe. We'll see. Right? So it's really about walking out that pioneering effort of doing that. And so in the hemp industries of Alaska, where do you see yourself, and where do you see the hemp industries of Alaska going?
I think the sky's the limit here in Alaska with where the whole project is going. I think that it's going to be a big industry up here, whether the government wants it or not. I think there's enough of us that are going to really grab the bull by the horns and run with it. I think that whether it's CBD or I really like the idea of I come from the aerospace industry, so plastics to me, building a plastic is just amazing out of the hemp plant. It's you can make not only a sustainable plastic, but you can make a biodegradable plastic, which you've linked me into a couple different products, whether it's a straw that is 100% biodegradable, or a dashboard in a Ford automobile. A lot of Fords have hemp plastics in their dashboards at this point in time. So, I mean, all those things are so exciting, and I think it's just going to take the industry to the next level.
So I agree completely. And that is where, on the forefront of this, having to, as I like to say, Alaska is addicted to oil. We're addicted to oil because we have this thing called the permanent fund dividend. It's the PFD. It's that check that we each get every year just for being an Alaskan resident. Yay! It's revenues off of our oil. And then there's this big fight in our legislature where The previous governments have tried to tap that money, and we haven't gotten the amount of checks that we're used to. And there's all sorts of the back and forth about whether or not that's right or not right or whatever. Either way, the realization that oil is not the future of Alaska has to be had. Like, we have to understand that and this is, it's for no other reason than the rest of the world in the civilized countries are moving away from fossil fuels. So if there's no buyer, there's no future. Right? So we've got to realize that. And then we get a pipeline that shuts down and everybody gets all mad and everybody's like, oh, we need oil. Well, yeah, for right now, until we create the infrastructure to fix that, to not need that anymore. But we need non-petroleum based plastics, and hemp plastic, great idea for sure. And so looking forward, that's the Hemp for Healthcare model. It's really simple. If this is your first time to the broadcast, thank you for coming along. Thank you for being here. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching anywhere else, please follow. The goal here is we can have a hemp-based economy. Everything we need. Hemp is a food source. It's a fuel source. It's an energy source. It's a, wait, what are you showing? Shawn, show me. What do you got? Oh, hemp seeds.
I got seeds.
Look at those.
They showed up. I got hemp seeds.
Right? Yes. Perfect. So
beautiful. Right there. Can you see them?
So pretty. Look at this. So that's what hemp seed looks like. Have you ever seen it? That's what it looks like. Yeah. They're so good. And then when you de-hull them and you take off that hard outer shell, it's when you get the food source, the hemp part on the inside. Okay. All right. If you need to say something, unmute your mic, but I'm going to mute you because of that situation. So, okay. So we've got a plant that can make all of these things, right? Alaska has no economic independence, right? We make 4% of our own food supply. 4% of our own food supply. We ship in everything else. We can't make, we don't have any infrastructure, no manufacturing infrastructure to make what we need. Well, that has to change, because the truth is, I don't trust what's going on outside of my borders here in Alaska. I don't know what's going on, and I want my people to be taken care of. So we understand two important things: that hemp can make everything we need. Two, we need healthcare. Everybody needs healthcare. Okay, that just needs to happen. You're a human being. You bleed red. You need healthcare. So how do we make it happen? Well, we connect the buying of hemp to the funding of your healthcare. Instead of jacking your taxes through the roof in some sort of socialistic mindset where everybody gets to pay like 40% taxes, well, what if we don't do it that way? What if we ask our hemp farmers to tithe into a healthcare fund at 10 or 15% of their biomass sales, and then we process all that biomass into thousands of different products. And we have brick and mortar hemp for healthcare stores, and we have hempforhealthcare.com. And the profits from those sales go into the healthcare fund for every single Alaskan resident. How cool would that be? That would say, if I buy hemp, then I can fund healthcare for me, for my child. I don't have to worry about insurance companies or significant medical bills or not going to the doctor because I'm scared of how I'm going to pay for it. Come on, that's not how an enlightened species works. It's not how we need to be. How about we change it up? So Hemp for Healthcare gives us a concept of paying for healthcare by connecting it to a world-saving industry. The more hemp we grow, the more carbon we sequester, and the more hemp we grow, the more soil we clean, and the more hemp we grow, the more biodegradable plastics, sustainable building materials, food. Come on. It's all good. So with that, then there's two other pieces to my initiative, and that's the Industrial Hemp for Prisons program and the hemp houses for the homeless. Okay. We need to teach our prisoners to grow something, to do something. Sitting there just doing nothing is horrible for their mindset. We need to give them a purpose, give them something to reinvest back into them. Well, that's industrial hemp. Then we sell those products to the government, and the government would then put their money back into the prison system. Okay. Instead of charging you as the taxpayer to pay for these prisoners to sit there doing nothing, well, they're doing something to give back to their community. That's what we need. And then with the money that they make, they can invest in healing therapies and workshops, and they can grow and they can get healed, set free, delivered, and have workable skills to go back into our society. The last piece is the hemp houses for the homeless. I was once homeless. I know how hard it is to focus on your own healing and your growth when you're more worried about where am I going to sleep and what am I going to eat. So instead, let's develop the hemp building sector of our industry, invest in that segment, build a house with hemp crate, hemp wood, hemp carpets, hemp paint, hemp mattresses, hemp draperies, all done and all sourceable even today. And we put people who are homeless into these houses with a focus on recovery, with a focus on healing. Give them a case manager and give them a support team that says, I believe in you. You can do this. You can overcome your darkness, right? Because when we focus on our most vulnerable, we will lift them up and we will be better as a society. So the Hemp for Healthcare in Alaska mission needs your support. It needs money. It needs donors. It needs people to grow. It needs people who want to invest in processing plants that we need, in the infrastructure, in the manufacturing, right? I have a manufacturing plant that I'm looking at right now that is that feeds itself on plastic waste, that will make biomaterials, like, you know, everything. We've got a long way to go, but we've got to start somewhere. And so I want to thank Shawn for being a pioneer in this industry. Okay. Alaska is just beginning, which means, like he says, the sky is the limit. And we have this potential to be amazing, to learn from all these other states and all these other countries and make it even better than it ever was before. We can grow indoors, we can grow outdoors, we can figure it out. It's just a problem that needs solving. And I have a ton of faith in people like Shawn and the rest of Alaska to say, gosh, we are really good at solving problems. If you've never wintered here in Alaska, come on. How many times do you have to solve the problem of getting yourself unstuck from snow? Like, that's, you know, there's problems you have to solve, and you just can't say, I give up when it gets hard. You have got to be an overcomer. So we are overcomers. And so, Shawn, I want to ask one last question of you. And that's any last ideas on running a hemp business for the viewers, and how do we get in contact with you if we have any questions?
You know, running a hemp business here in Alaska has its challenges, that's for sure. You know, I landed here about 9 years ago. I've been in this state for 9 years now, and absolutely love it. I don't even leave the state, because this state is the best state in the union, and it's the biggest and the best, right? That's where we're at. And I think the hemp in Alaska, with people like yourself, with the passion that you've had since the day I met you. I mean, there's no one that cares or has the drive for hemp like you do. It's just amazing that you just keep powering through it all. And we all need to get out and support folks like you if we really want to make this industry happen, because you are obviously a big part of it. I see you just on social media every day. That's where I kind of lack. I'm not that good on social media, but you just keep plugging away and just the drive you have to make it happen, make this plant happen, is just above and beyond anyone else in this field. So we want to thank you for doing what you do, and giving us the ability to come on here and talk to the folks about the different ideas of where we can go with hemp. And I mean, there's so many discussions we could have. We could probably be on here weekly and never get through all the topics. But it's I know it's just sky's the limit. And if people want to get into the industry and want to be part of this wonderful industry, and you can always reach me at Shawn, SHAWN, at Frontier CBDs with an S on the end.com. And I mean, I'm always available for conversation. If you want to even give me a jingle, you can reach me at 907-299-1829. And I love being part of this, and I love seeing people like yourself with just as much passion as I do. that I have in this this whole game and this industry, and I know that if we work really hard at it, we can achieve what you're trying to achieve, which is just amazing. I mean, who wouldn't want healthcare? You know, free healthcare or even cut in half healthcare would be. I would be happy with it. I'm at $1,250 a month for health insurance. That's what the Obama care gave me. I went from about $380 a year, or $380 a month for my health care for like a decade, and then Obamacare came around, and they decided that I guess I make too much money or whatever the case is, so they tripled my my health care, and it really crippled me and my family. I ran with it for, I would say, about a year, and right now I don't have it. I don't. I still do stupid stuff. I went snow machining all winter, and without health insurance. And once again, that's frightening. You know, if I was to, you know, break my leg or do something to that level, I mean, my bank account would be wiped out, and everything else. You know, who knows what would happen? I'd have to sell one of my properties or take it to the next level just to support myself on getting medical care. And that's frightening to a lot of folks, and a lot of people lose everything, file bankruptcy because of you know, medical issues. And I think what you're doing, Hemp for Healthcare, is just amazing. I hope we can actually take it to the next level and really get some of the bigger guys involved and get the governor involved and you know, make this happen for the people. You know, I can tell you right now, Sarah's not doing it for herself by any means. That's not why she's here. She's doing it for you guys. So honestly, support her. She's awesome. She's amazing. I just love this lady. I honestly, you were one of the first people I got in touch with when I started this industry. You invited me out there, and I was a deer in the headlight at that time. I didn't know much about it, right? And just that day, I learned so much from the people that you brought together, you know. And I remember it was, you know, a couple bankers showed up, and just the industrial hemp program showed up from the Department of Agriculture, and we just had a great day, and we made it what it was. And I mean, it's been a while since that point in time. I mean, it's been a long road, and I know I've accomplished and just been blessed with what I've accomplished, and I'm so looking forward to this year and the years to come, and being able to support and work with wonderful people like yourself.
I love it. Thank you so much. That's so thank you. Thank you. The truth is that, yes, people, you know, I recently had a Zoom call with a man in Australia, and he shared with me about how he was in a car accident, and he got put into the hospital, and he had spent some time in the US, but then he went back to the Australia. And when he got out of the hospital, he called them up and he said, okay, what's my bill? And they said, nothing. You don't owe us anything. And he had spent like a week in the hospital. I mean, it was a significant, here in the States, that would have been probably a well over $50,000, if not more, kind of bill. But he said, well, what is my bill? And they said, nothing. They said, nothing. Just go be you. Just go be safe, right? And like, that blew my mind when I see my fellow Alaskans and my fellow Americans living in a world where they're terrified of something medically happening to them because it could bankrupt them. It could destroy them financially. I think one of the number one reasons, or the number one reason for bankruptcy in the States is medical. And so we have this really screwed up system where doctors come and they go, okay, well, I want to help people. And they get like, you know, $500,000 in student loan debt, or $200,000 in student loan debt, or whatever. And they get out there and they have this belief that they're just going to help people. And then they realize that, whoa, the system is built on profiting off of the sickness of people. Wait, what? Wait, I thought I was here to heal people. I thought I was here to help people. Oh, no. You're going to keep them sick and you're going to keep them broken because, well, that's how we make money. Wait, what? No. So my system says, no, we're going to have a single payer system that pays for salaries and operating expenses of these hospitals and these nurses and these doctors, so that when the people are sick, they get health care. It doesn't matter what they're sick with, that they get proper health care. Okay. But I'm not going to pay for the operating expenses of a doctor's office if they have a consistent results of keeping their people sick. Well, they're not doing their job, right? Doctors need to have performance-based pay, right? They don't now. They have insurance companies that tell them how to practice medicine. You can only spend 15 minutes with this person. They have politicians that say, well, this is what's medicinal. What? Wait, what? They're not doctors. Shut up. Okay. You know, I love you. Come on. But still, like, that's the reality. And we've got to change that. And it's little things like that that have just got to change. And artificial ingredients in our food supply, that has to change, right? And Shawn, I'm going to call you out. That's one of the things I want to see change in Frontier CBDs is all artificial ingredients removed. Like, we've got to have a conscious awareness that health is important, and that if we have a healthy society, we have a healthy world. And the more healthy we are as people, the better we can handle our emotions, we can handle our mental situations, and we're going to stop seeing all these mass shootings and all this lashing out of our pain and all these problems, because health becomes the most important thing to America. So, yay. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, thank you, Shawn, so much for joining me today. We got that crackly mic thing under control, but I thank you so much. And let me just bless you all and send you on your way to be the world changers that I'm calling you to be. Okay. I need you. I need you to be a world changer. That's what I need you to be. I need you to decide to step up for the planet, to step up for the people, to let all the darkness go out of you people and say, hey, I want light and I want love. And you know where it comes from, the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Okay. So I'm blessing you now, that may the Lord bless you and may he keep you. May he shine his face upon you. May he be gracious to you. And most of all, during this time of uncertainty, may he give you peace within your soul. God bless you. God bless Alaska, and God bless America. I'll see you all next week.